got some news. So this article came out from Metro. Doctor Who's greatest episode in years proves it's broken beyond repair by Tom Percival. It's an opinion piece. I don't know if you've seen this one.
No,
No.
no.
I'm a massive Doctor Who fan, so it brings me no pleasure to write what I'm about to write. Since 2005, I've travelled with the title Time Lord to alien worlds and to distant pasts, meeting incredible people and watched and wonder as they did the impossible. So it's with a heavy heart, I've only got one, that I admit that I think the show's broken, and sadly, I can't see how even regeneration can fix what's wrong. Just look at the abysmal ratings for Doctor Who's latest episode, Lux. Rather paltry in TV terms, 1.58 million viewers tuned in to watch the Doctor battle the new villain, Mr. Vingading, on Saturday night, despite the episode receiving rave reviews from critics. Now, it's worth saying that those viewing figures don't paint a full picture, as they don't include those watching on iPlayer. Obviously, it's going to be that.
Mm.
Still, it's clear we're light years away from the show's heyday, when it attracted millions of viewers every Saturday. So, if an episode hailed by some as the best in years, for the record, I thought it was tremendous. So he really liked Lux.
Mm.
Can't get bums on seats. We have to ask ourselves what's wrong with the BBC's former golden child. Well, where I am diagnosing physician, where I the diagnosing physician, I'd say there were two main issues. Firstly, let's address the judging in the room. The show isn't as good as it was. Yes, I know I just wrote that Lux is one of the best in years, but the emphasis should be on the latter part of that phrase, in years. Ever since Peter Capaldi's Doctor popped his clogs, the show has struggled with weak stories and poor payoffs that have let down brilliant actors. For the most part, Jodie Whittaker's series was defined by poor characterization, boring villains, and attempts to fix plot holes no one cared about. Shruti's tenure, meanwhile, has been marred by convoluted stories about space gods, weak resolutions, and genuinely terrible episodes like the loathsome Space Babies. I lay a lot of the blame for the general antipathy towards Shruti's run at the feet of whoever thought making Space Babies the first episode was a good idea. It was a rubbish story with a gross but forgettable baddie and a ropey CGI. Everything about it was a misfire. And while there have been bad episodes in this great series before, Love and Monsters, why do you keep people just put Love and Monsters all the time? It's not a bad episode.
No,
Uh,
exactly. I
yeah,
agree.
42, yeah, fair enough. That wasn't fantastic. And Sleep No More, I can barely remember half of that. So,
I fell
uh,
asleep in that one.
yeah. I would also add
Ironically.
into the crappiest episodes of all time is probably in the Forest of the Shite with Peter Capaldi, where there was loads of massive trees everywhere.
And that superhero one as well, Captain Mysterio, or whatever his name is.
The Return of Captain Mysterio. Yeah, that was a lot of
Yeah.
crap and all. Yeah, so there's been quite a few. Um, Honestly, in an era when first impressions matter, I can't believe it was allowed to run, and I don't think its general naffness has put off fans who might have otherwise enjoyed Shooty's adventures through time space. Furthermore, I think showrunner Russell T Davis isn't sure who he wants the show to appeal to anymore. Every other day, it feels like there's a new casting announcement or celeb lined up to cameo, but who are these announcements for? Are kids today excited by the news that Vylon is appearing in an upcoming episode? Does Graham Norton have a big Gen Alpha appeal? Obviously, Gen Alpha is the kids that are born since, what was it, 2013, 2014, I think, if I remember correctly. Oh, was it 2012? I don't know. It's some point in the early 2010s onwards, I think. So our kids all fit into Gen Alpha, basically, Mike.
Oh.
I don't know, but the whole thing stinks of that Steve Buscemi. How do you do, fellow kids meme? Do you know that meme?
No.
No, I don't know either, but I heard it's quite funny. So if it's not for new viewers, who is it for? Uh, I don't know how many people who are excited to see Rylan, as charming as he is, turn up in an episode, but I know if I told people the Daleks are coming back, they'd at least know what I was talking about. It all
Mm.
feels a bit scattershot and lacks the confidence other seasons had. Unfortunately, it's the second reason, though, that may prove terminal for the Doctor. You see, we live in an attention based economy these days. People are fighting for eyeballs and attention, and the BBC hasn't done a great job of generating buzz around the new season. Now, that's not for want of trying for the aforementioned cameo announcements, but there's a definite lack of excitement around the show, and I put the blame for that on it being unceremoniously dumped on BBC iPlayer on Saturday mornings. Now, I know that the thinking of that is makes watching the show more convenient, but Doctor Who is supposed to be an appointment viewing. It's not something to be watched when you feel like it. After all, why would you sit down on a Saturday evening to watch a show when you can watch it whenever? So he's obviously got the worst rated episodes from IMDb. Obviously, Space Babies is at number 10. Can You Hear Me, number 9. From Cities 12. The Vanquisher, Series 13. The Battle of Ransko Afkola, Series 11. Praxis at number 6. The Sananga Conundrum. Oh, fucking hell. The Sananga Conundrum, episode 5, which is where I left Series 11 with the Pating.
Mm.
Arachnids in the UK, which was the episode before that. The Timeless Children, Series 12, was at number 3. And number 2, Legends of the Sea Devils. And number 1, Orphan 55, which I've never seen that, so I can't really say.
I
Anyway,
can't even I can't even remember that one. Is that Jodie Whittaker's era?
yeah, Series
Orphan
12, yeah.
55. So is number one the worst ever?
It's the worst rated, apparently, according to IMDb. The people go on and
Ah,
rate the
right, okay.
episodes. That's just according to IMDb. That people have rated them. I think it's out of 10 or something. So there you go.
Mm.
Other big shows don't do this. You don't see White Lotus streaming hours before the episode debuts, do you? No, they make you wait because they're confident the audience will tune in. Did the BBC learn nothing from Disney's disastrous experiments with Premier Access? When you release stuff straight to streaming, you turn the magic into mundane because audiences, for right or wrong, don't see stuff that goes straight to streaming as important. I watch TV for a living and I'm guilty of this because, to be blunt, when I watch something whenever, it almost always becomes never. Maybe I'm being overly dramatic. Perhaps iPlayer figures will dazzle doubters like me, and the rest of the season will be the highest viewed in history. I don't know. But what I do know is that if things don't change, Doctor Who's days may be numbered. So, your thoughts, Mikey boy?
It's all doom and gloom, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's usually because
Um,
the Metro usually defends Doctor Who point blank, and this is like the first time ever on the Metro that someone's actually came out and said it's kind of shite.
yeah, it's just saying all the things we've said before, really. You know, at the end of the day, I still hold firm, and I keep saying this every episode. And people probably get sick of me saying this every episode, but we just need a break. A few years break, get some new stories, get them all kind of packed together over a course of a few years, you know what I mean? And then it gives that sort of few years to have a look at them and kind of tighten them up if something doesn't look quite right as well, and get it, bang on sort of thing. But hey, but yeah, it's not a lot more I can say about it really, because yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
quite damning when people like the Metro are actually coming out, and because they've usually defended Doctor Who, they're coming out now and actually saying, well, someone from Metro's actually saying this stuff, and they got past the editors and stuff. So, um, yeah, I think some people are starting to kind of go, oh, maybe not. There's still some doubt, but
I can guarantee you though. Well, maybe not guarantee you, but I can bet the only thing it's bigging up like magazine or newspaper wise would be the Doctor Who magazine. I think I'll put at this point. I think all the other sort of news media, or like magazines and newspapers and things like that, I've probably just kind of given up. And I think the only thing is probably bigging it up, going, "This is the greatest thing ever," will be the Doctor Who magazine, I bet.
Yeah, pretty much. But anyway, right. So this came up a couple of days ago. Classic Doctor Who episodes land on You and Eden this May. Classic episodes of Doctor Who are to be broadcast on the UK TV channel You and Eden starting this May. So the first episode will be the 1970 season opener from season 7, Spearhead from Space, which is the first story to feature John Pertwee in the title role, starting on Monday the 5th of May at 5:20 p.m. British Standard Time, with all 4 episodes airing back to back. Stories will broadcast each weeknight, continuing with Doctor Who and the Silurians on Tuesday the 6th of May. In Spearhead from Space, blah blah blah. Yeah, so it's going back to streaming some old episodes of Doctor Who. It's on, I think it's like twice a day, so it's on in the morning from 9:05. They stream it, they put it on UK and Eden, you and Eden, and they have it on late at night as well. So
Yeah, cool. I remember that episode as well, Spearhead from Space, and it was a good episode. It was a good opener for John Pertwee as well, wasn't it? So,
yeah,
um, you know, but obviously due to budgeting issues and that, the Doctor had to stay earthbound, didn't he?
yeah, it was
So
budgeting, but then it was also kind of story wise because we kind of explored a lot of time and space, and they kind of tried to do something new with it. So they stunk them on Earth for a bit and said, "There you go, do something like that."
yeah.
Created some good stories. I think season
Oh
seven
yeah.
is probably one of the strongest seasons of Doctor Who ever. So,
Mm,
and we get the first introduction of the Autons in that story, Spearhead from Space as
yeah.
well. So, and the third Doctor story. So,
Is that not when correct me if I'm wrong here, but is that not when the Master first appears as well?
no, that's season 8.
Ah,
That's Terror of the Autons, which is the sequel
ah,
to Spearhead from Space.
well,
So on BT TV, it's channel 57, and FreeSat, it's channel 160. Freeview, it's channel 57. Sky, it's channel 166. Talk Talk, it's channel 57. And YouView, it's channel 57. So definitely, if you're into classic Who, definitely check it out, support it, go watch it, record it, watch it later if you want to. Like I said, it's on in the mornings, and then it's on at like 20 past 5 at night. Each part of the story is obviously going to be back to back. And then obviously on the Tuesday, we've got the first 4 parts of the Doctor Who and the Silurians. It's a 7-parter, so they're doing the first 4 parts on the Tuesday. And then again, later on in the day, they'll repeat it again. And then on Wednesday, they're doing parts 5 to 7 of the Doctor Who and the Silurians on the Wednesday. So it's kind of like back in the day where they had it was on UK TV Gold, I think it was, when they used to do
yeah.
repeats. I think this is like the new channel they're trying to push for classic Doctor Who on, so it'd be good to see it do well.
I
And
might
get
watch
some
it on you. I might watch it on you.
you. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it would be good to see if we get some new fans into Doctor Who with the great John Pertwee, and I think hopefully I think the plan is hopefully they'll be going on doing other sort of stories with the Doctors and other seasons, which would be quite cool.
Unfortunately, unfortunately, though, as well, like there may be a small percentage of younger audience that maybe watch these old episodes as well, because you know, like myself, I love watching Laurel and Hardy and all like old shows like that as well, because
Mm,
that's what we kind of grew up with, sort of thing as well. But a lot of kids would like watch the episodes, and because it's not got like CGI or like any of the things that are put into today's sort of films and TV shows and stuff like that,
mm.
there might be a small percentage of young like kids and young people will probably watch it and like it, but yeah, but maybe a very small amount. But might be
Yeah,
wrong.
well, hopefully it'll be the story that will grab them, and kind of grab them into, because they're good stories, especially
Oh
the
yeah,
Silurian one as well.
yeah,
And then obviously they're gonna do Ambassadors of Death, which is the story after the Silurians, and then obviously Inferno, which is the final
yeah.
story from season 7, which is also
Which
a
is my
fan
favorite
favorite.
episode.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you love that episode, Mike. So
yeah, yeah. It's my favorite episode.
mhm.
Um, well, one of them. Well, yeah, that's probably yeah. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So hopefully everyone can check that out and support it. All right. So Mike, you sent me the link to this video, which I have seen before, and kind of forgot about it years ago. Which is what David Tennant answers Doctor Who fans' burning questions 2009 on the Graham Norton show. I think
yeah.
I think it was before he was about to leave Doctor Who. I think it was, I don't know, at some point that year.
Mm,
And obviously Graham Norton's trying to get some of the fans to ask David Tennant some questions. The first guy asks a pretty dumb question about, how did you get into Doctor Who, obviously, and, he talks about John Pertwee and
yeah.
stuff like that, which is fine. And then this other young dude, because Graham Norton's a bit
Proper
pissed about
genius.
this guy's a
Proper
genius.
genius.
Yeah. Because Graham gets a bit pissed about the guy asking a crap question. So he goes over to the other dude who was going to potentially ask a question. It's like, what were you going to ask? And he asks David Tennant, the fantastic question is, obviously, because you did, was it Hamlet or something?
Hamlet, yeah.
Yeah. Who was a better writer, Shakespeare or Russell T Davis? And obviously, David Tennant came out with the answer. I think Russell T Davis is the Shakespeare of today. Now you've got some thoughts on that.
Yeah.
Explain.
Yeah. So back in the day, like I didn't watch this. I didn't see this until just a couple of days ago.
Mm,
So like back in the day, if I was watching this back when in 2009, I would have totally agreed. I would have been like, yep,
mm.
definitely. However, fast forward to today, it's laughable as well. And I wouldn't agree. I'd be like, what the fuck? So David Tennant said that in like if he asked this question these days and David Tennant came up with that, I probably would have just laughed at him. And he probably would have lost a shitload of credibility
Yeah.
as well. But that's the sad fact of it all though, isn't it? Like is the fact that looking back in it back then, a lot of fans would have agreed. But then who's to say that David Tennant making that comment got in RTD's head. You know, that could have
Maybe.
been that could have been the beginning of him going up his own arse. Essentially.
I think the beginning of him getting up his own arse is when the series came back in 2005 and he got so much fucking praise for it. And
Oh
it just
yeah,
went up and up from there onwards. And never stopped, really, until he came back. And then, yeah, less said about that, the better. But here's a better question. Who do you think's a better writer, RTD or J.K. Rowling?
J.K. Rowling.
Fucking right.
Uh, again, if you would have asked me that back then, I probably wouldn't be able to give you an answer. Like, I'd probably be stuck on either side because we love Harry Potter and we love
Hmm.
Doctor Who sort of thing. Uh, both great entities in their own right, sort of thing. So like you would have had that sort of debate, and I would have been debating with myself
Hmm.
also as well. But you know. But thing is, these days, what I'm thinking now these days that like with the storylines that we've been getting in Doctor Who these days is the fact that David Tennant, not David Tennant, Sharp, RTD might as well be writing for fucking Teletubbies. You know what I mean? Like, yeah,
Yes, Queen.
you know what I mean? He might as well. He might get some
Dinky
praise there.
Winky. Yes, Queen.
You might get.
Clutching his handbag.
Nunu could be the new fucking Daleks or something, taking over Teletubby land, you know.
Oh, Jesus.
Fucking
Aye.
hell. But yeah, it's so yeah, and that shows how much he's pissed me off because obviously in previous episodes when we've been reviewing um 2005 episodes of David Tennant and Christopher Eccleston's eras and stuff like that. Like we've had high praise for those sort of storylines and things like that, and the way it's ran. But it's a sad fact of looking back to then and to what it is now. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I think
It's
Russell can write. I just think he's lost it now. And I don't know what's wrong. And I don't know what he's doing. Uh,
I, he's gotten. I think. Well, I might be wrong, but my mindset is he's gotten to the point where, as you say, he's just gotten a shitload of praise. He's thinking, right, okay, well, I'm in this position now that everybody loves me. So no matter what I do, people are still going to love me for it, And
hmm,
then, some of the things that he's trying to push in these episodes, these new ones and things like that, okay, yes, they need to be addressed, but I think he's pushing it too much and it's getting in people's faces as well. And then the storylines aren't adding up well, not adding up. But you know what I mean. Like the storylines are weak at best
yeah. I
as
think,
well. And you know, and the fact that he had that interview where he was just like, I can't remember whatever he said. It just pissed everybody off. You know what I mean? I can't remember exactly what he said,
hmm.
um, but you know the interview that I'm talking about, yeah.
um, I'm trying to think. Which one? I
Uh,
don't know.
um, basically where he's I think what was he saying? He's saying something along the lines of if you don't like it, lump it, leave or whatever. Like basically.
Hmm. I don't know.
And,
I can't remember. I can't remember. I'm sure Gatwas said some things, and there's
yeah.
quite a lot of people who said things. I don't know. I think just Russell T Davis had more to prove back in the early days of the reboot. That made him work a bit harder. And I think these days he thinks that no one will criticize him. If they do, then they're all just bigots and let them go with it.
Yeah.
It's a shame, really. Anyway,
Mm.
so hold on. There we go. So, Doctor Who season 2 final to be shown in UK movie theaters. So, just like last year, where we had the Empire of Death or the Empire of Meh, as we like to call it, was shown in cinemas along with the Legend of Ruby Sunday. They'll be same this year. According to the View website, the final episode of Doctor Who season 2, the reality will be shown in the UK movie theaters on the 30th of May 2025. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that works out because we've had, if you go to Blog to Who, they've got basically they put all the information from last year. It was a double bill, The Legend of Ruby Sunday and the Empire of Meh for the first venue of Doctor Who in UK cinemas since the Day of the Doctor in 2013 and Deep Breath 2014. The UK box office data showed that it took 364,353 pounds on Friday night, putting it into the fourth place in charts. Blah blah blah. So, according to UK Cinemas Association, the average price of a standard cinema ticket was £7.92 in 2023. Based on its average ticket price, the box office takings would equate to 46,004 tickets sold. Anecdotal accounts of tickets costing £15 for the screening would therefore equate to around 24,290 tickets sold for Doctor Who. So basically, they got about £364,353. So it wasn't massive. It was enough. I would imagine it'll be interesting to see this year and what comes out at the end of this time, and you can compare and contrast and see if the same amount of people went to see the cinema to see this next one, or if it's drastically reduced.
I think it'll be drastically reduced. I ain't going to the cinema to fucking see it. I'm keeping my money. Fuck that. Um,
Why? When you can see it on the telly.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like if it was like again, if he was doing top-notch writing to the point where everybody was like going, yeah, like it was like amazing stories and everything else. And I thought it was like one of those once in lifetime opportunities of seeing, like, say for instance, it was like the finale, like we had all these great stories and all the rest of it, and Shooty Gat was last kind of hurrah sort of thing, then I'd probably consider going because I think it would be quite a good atmosphere with other fans and you know what I mean. But as it stands, unfortunately, that's not where we're at, and it's just kind of went, nah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I'll just watch it at home. Like I can buy my own snacks and watch it and fall asleep on my own sofa. Uh, uh,
Yeah.
but I do have a little bit of hope as well. And when we get into this episode, well, which I'll tell you what I think of this episode when we get there. But
Hmm.
I do have a minute hope that it might be a good payoff at the end of the season.
Yeah.
It
Maybe.
just, it just, I just have to see the rest of the season, and then I might get a bit more excited to see the ending. But then again, it could be like last year where we got to the penultimate episode,
Hmm.
and it was like getting proper. I was getting proper pumped. I was like, "Oh, what's going to happen? What's going to happen?" And then you got the final episode, and I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah.
right,
Fart in the wind.
next."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Um, So they've
Or
got
either that, I should be shouting, "Nurse, revive it!"
nurse. You
Revive him.
saved me.
Anyway,
Aye. So on Blog to Who, they've got the Doctor Who Day of the Doctor box office as well, which was over like 1 million. I think the grossed that weekend, the grossed 1,798,629. Sorry. So it's over a million,
mm,
1.79 million. So that was massive. But that was the 50th anniversary. So Deep Breath, obviously, which is Peter Capaldi's first episode, got 522,908. So, a bit more. But it'll be interesting to see what happens with this next one. And it'll be interesting to see, to compare and contrast, to see how many people actually went and if it got any more or less. Interesting.
mm.
Hey, so next episode we've got obviously in the Doctor Who magazine. We've been given some information of the next three episodes, episode 4, 5, and 6. So episode 4, Lucky Day, will be broadcast on Saturday, the 3rd of May at 8 a.m. Obviously on BBC iPlayer. It'll be on like Disney Plus and obviously stuff, and then it'll be on BBC One. So basically, in a nutshell, it's written by Peter McTeague or McTighe. I don't know how you pronounce his name. Directed by Peter Hoare, who directed episode 1. So in a nutshell, Ruby Sunday is back. She's got a loving family and a handsome new man in her life, but she misses her best friend, Doctor. Then a savage alien creature from Ruby's past brings terror to a remote English village, forcing Unit into a deadly battle that will push Kate Lethbridge Stewart to her limits. So this is Jonah Howard King. Obviously, he's going to be playing Conrad, who I believe will be her boyfriend. I believe he's doing a podcast called Lucky Day, I think is Like that's the title of his podcast. Uh, and I believe if we've seen in the trailer when the Doctor and Belinda run into this boy, and they ask what year it is, I believe this could be, as we speculated, I think this could be Conrad as a younger boy, as a younger lad. So, and it could be proven correct. So, and that's how he knows the Doctor.
It's the 2007 the episode is going to be based in 2007.
I think
Is
so.
that
Yeah,
right?
I think so. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's where they land next. I think, and I think they meet this young lad who could be Conrad. And we see this shot here of him next to the TARDIS. So, speculate. So,
Mm,
obviously Mel Gibson's back, Ruby Sunday. So, you know, continuing excitement, everyone.
yeah. It could be. It. Well, I'm not. This is not an actual theory, but just throwing that out there just to get people excited. It could be a future Doctor who used the fob watch to put his consciousness in. He's all human, and he comes across, Ruby. Ooh, and it turns out it's the Doctor, and he has to use the fob watch to become the Doctor, the future Doctor, and that's why he's outside the TARDIS, just about to open it. Ooh, so take
Yeah, maybe.
take yeah, at this point,
Yeah.
if you think about it, like anything it could be possible at this point. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it probably that probably sounds more exciting than probably what's going to be happening. But anyway,
I
um,
really hope, I really hope this monster that's coming into this next episode, and that the monster that's from Ruby's past isn't the boogie monster.
Boogie Monster. You mean
Oh, the
Bogey
bogey monster,
Monster, not Boogie.
bogey. Yeah, you know what I meant.
Boogie, this Boogie.
Yeah, the bogey monster. Then you dickhead.
Yeah.
Uh,
So I'm kind of hoping that this episode kind of sets up the final because this is our only sort of snapshot of modern day Earth this season, apart from the beginning of episode one. Um, so maybe it'll give us some sort of hint to what's happening. Obviously, we're gonna have Mrs. Flood in it at some point. Because I think she's maybe in every episode this season. So I'm pretty sure she'll pop up somewhere. Anywho, right, episode. What the piss is going on? What the fuck is that? Oh, there we go. Right, never mind. Episode 5, the story and the engine. Written by Anu Elms and directed by Makala McPherson. So it's Saturday the 10th of May, obviously on BBC iPlayer and Disney Plus, obviously, around the world. In a nutshell, it's Lagos, or Lagos, I don't know how you pronounce it, Lagos, I think it is, in 2019, in an ideal spot to get a bearing on the Vindicator, a vital step to returning Belinda home. While he's there, the Doctor decides to drop in on his old friend, Omo, who runs a barber shop in the city. Blissfully unaware that he's falling into a trap, our hero soon finds himself embroiled in a plot for revenge that spans the centuries. So, what do you think?
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what? Like, is it going to be like um what's William Hartnell's story that we did a couple, like when we were doing the classic, where like where the Daleks were like chasing them through time and that they kept having to land. Is that what it's pointing to? Like, you know,
Don't know. This is the one where that big giant sort of spider thing, which we thought might probably looks like a robot, and I think this is where the scenes where the doctor's like hanging on to the door or something, he's getting yanked out, and they're all about to fall out or something. I don't know. I think I explained that really craply, but that was in the trailer, I
yeah,
think. So,
yeah.
yeah,
It's um, like, yeah, when you're saying about like like what was it, through the ages? Is that what you said?
spans the centuries.
So like that's what kind of made me think, oh, maybe he's like having to jump in and out the TARDIS and like go to different times and stuff like that to evade whatever's chasing him or whatever, just like one of William Hartnell's stories.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, that's episode 5. Episode 6, we've got the Interstellar Song Contest, which from Rylan, and Graham Norton on Saturday, the 17th of May, which is basically the same time. I think there's like a football match on before. I think it's like a final. I don't know. I think it's a final football match, and then it's the same night as Eurovision as well. So I think Doctor Who's going to be trying to squeeze in between that on BBC One. So obviously it's on BBC iPlayer at 8 o'clock in the morning, blah blah blah, and Disney Plus everywhere else. Written by Juno Dawson and directed by Ben A. Williams. In a nutshell, it's 29/25 and the biggest night of the year. 3 trillion life forms from 40 million planets are watching the Interstellar Song Contest, broadcast live from the Harmony Arena space station. The Doctor and Belinda are looking forward to an evening of fun, but someone is planning to hijack the event, putting everyone's lives in danger. Meanwhile, out in the audience, events take an unexpected turn for Mrs. Flood. There you go.
Mm. I wonder what this is unexpected turn. Does she die?
I don't know. This one's episode 6, so this will be leading into the final, episode 7 and 8. So I don't know. It'd be interesting to see. I think this is the one where you see her in the audience, obviously watching the show. I don't know. Maybe the Doctor and Belinda run into her potentially by this point.
Maybe.
Yeah, it might throw up some questions. Because they've not seen her so far yet. Only Belinda's seen her, but Doctor will know who she is. So it's kind of like the repetition of last year, where it's like the old woman from last year that was popping up in every episode. It's
the
same thing.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. So yeah, not really looking forward to any of these ones. Yeah, whatever. They look all right, I suppose. But yeah, I'm not like so excited. I can't wait. So there you go.
Ruby's in two of the episodes, isn't she?
She's in episode 4, which will be coming up, and then I think she's in episode 7 and 8, so we're in the final. I think Mel's coming back for a couple of episodes as well. So it'll be interesting to see. Anyway, right. So Barb is back, and so what do you think? Obviously, we've got the Consolidated for episode 2 Lux. Obviously, you can see it's not in the top 10. So where do you think it's going to be? What number between 1 and, well, obviously, sorry, 11 and 50?
11 and 50.
Yeah.
19.
Oh, she's going for 19, right? Okay. So obviously, number 1, we've got The Apprentice. 2, Grace. 3, Beyond Paradise. 4, Britain's Got Talent. Number 5, The 1% Club. 6, Coronation Street. 7, Have I Got News for You? 8, Coronation Street. 9, Coronation Street. 10, Emmerdale. So 11, we've got This City Is Ours. 12, 13, 14, 15, we've got 12 to 15, we've got Emmerdale. 16, 17, 18, we've got EastEnders, 3 episodes of them. And 19, we've got BBC News at 6.
Fucking hell.
you know it's bad when BBC News at 6 on Monday is getting more viewers than you, right? Number 20, EastEnders. Right. Number 21, BBC News at 6 on the Tuesday. BBC News at 6 on the Thursday, and BBC
Oh,
News at
fuck off.
6 on the Wednesday. 24 Gogglebox, and then 25 Doctor Who with a
Wow.
consolidated of 3 million, which is the lowest consolidated ever from 2005 onwards.
Yeah. Can you go back to the other ones? Like, like, so, wait a minute.
How far back do you want me to go?
Into the top 10.
There you go.
Where is it?
Top 10.
Yeah. Like, can you not remember the last episode? Like, and I was shocked that, well, not shocked, but I was just a bit disappointed that there was a program and it was like it was further up the rankings than us,
Mm.
like the Doctor Who. Which one was that again? I can't remember what it was. Go
Well,
back to the next one, the other one.
you were talking about the Antiques Roadshow, which is at number 26, just below us.
Ah, so we've managed to overtake the Antique Roadshow, so that's something.
Just by like what?
A ball here.
Ball here, yeah. Just
Uh,
just the name here.
aye, just an enemy, aye.
I mean, all you need to do is drop between below the 3 mil, go to about 2.8, 2 point like 6, 7, and you're below Antiques Roadshow.
What about a place in the sun? What's that?
Uh,
uh,
I don't think it's there. You know,
that's, uh,
have I got news
anyway,
for you? You know, well,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
that far down now that it's kind of getting embarrassing. That when BBC News is getting more views than you,
yeah,
um, you have to start thinking because Doctor Who, you got to realize Doctor Who is not a cheap show to make.
no.
Because everyone keeps saying, "Oh, why are you not moaning about EastEnders and all the Coronation Street and all that not getting great views?" But they're cheap, right? That's why they can make like 3 or 4 episodes, 5 episodes a week because they're cheap,
Well,
right?
the thing is, these episodes take months to kind of
Well, the special effects and stuff.
film and special effects and all the rest of it. Whereas with EastEnders, like they do, it's quite fast paced. Like they
Mm.
have to learn the lines as quickly as possible, get and like kind of act within that sort of, you know, there's very little wiggle room to kind of mess up your lines. You know what I mean? So,
Mm.
whereas with Doctor Who, you have that. There is a bit of pressure on you, but when it comes to learning your lines, you can do it with a few takes, which takes longer as well. But then it's obviously setting up everything, especially with the TARDIS or the aliens or whatever. You know what I mean? It's just so much goes into making these shows.
Yeah, it's not great. So obviously Doctor Who TV. Quick overview. So overnight, so those who watched it live and those who recorded it and watched it late that night. +7s ratings include those who recorded it and watched within a week, and +4 since 2018. Final consolidated figure takes those into account who've viewed on tablets, PCs, and smartphones. So overnight for the first episode was 2 mil, and then we've got a 3.57 consolidated for episode 1, which was not disastrous, but it was the lowest overnight. No, sorry, the lowest consolidated for a season opener from 2005 onwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then obviously episode 2 got 1.58 overnights and 3 million in consolidated. So now consolidated at 3 million, that's the lowest consolidated rating for Doctor Who episode since 2005 ever. And then obviously overnights, we predicted it was like 1.4 or whatever for episode 3. It's 1.86 overnights for episode 3. So there's a lot of
That's a
people.
bit weird.
Well, there was, I think, because there was a football match on, and quite a lot of people in the pubs would be playing the football match on, and after it, Doctor Who came on, so they wouldn't be changing the channel, would they? So, you know,
Oh no.
they'll just leave it on. So there's quite a lot of people saying, "Oh my God, it's a Who success! It's going to bump in the ratings." you got to remember 1.86 is the second lowest overnight of all time. So it's
Yeah.
not fantastic. And then 2 mils the third. So, it's slightly better, but, you know, not bad. But oh, Jesus. Anyway,
Yeah. I bet the BBC were jizzing in their pants when they saw that. Like,
oh, yeah, loving it, loving it. It's still not streaming on any of the top platforms. So Samba TV top 10 from 14th to 20th of April. Last of Us season 2, Ransom Canyon, which I've never heard of, Black Mirror season 7, Your Friends and Neighbors season 1, The Handmaid's Tale season 6, The Pit season 1, The Glass Dome season 1, I Hostage, The White Lotus season 3, and Oklahoma City Bombing American Terror was at number 10 on Netflix. Still no Doctor Who. Um, Top show TV shows on Disney Plus on April 28th. No Doctor Who. 27th, no Doctor Who. That's worldwide. On Disney Plus, top shows on 28th. No Doctor Who. United States, top 10 and 27th of April. United States on Disney Plus, no Doctor Who. We've got Mufasa the Lion King, Star Wars Andor, Rio 2, Star Wars Andor, Daredevil, Born Again, Francis the People's Pope. It's probably like a documentary since he just passed away. The Secret of the Penguins, Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, Titanic, Digital Resurrection, and Avengers Endgame. All in the top 10 on Disney Plus in the United States on April 27th. No Doctor Who. Obviously on the 28th, same again, no Doctor Who, just more Star Wars. Obviously, episode 2 joins that, and episode 3 joins the top 10 for Star Wars on the 28th. Obviously, Star Wars Episode 3 has just had it's just been back in cinemas for its 20th anniversary, and it's been doing pretty well, apparently. So that's pretty good. In Australia, 27th of April, no Doctor Who. And on 28th in Australia, no Doctor Who on their top tens on Flix Patrol. Um, so I don't know. I mean, at least last year it was popping up in the top 10 at some point.
yeah.
It was between like 10 and 6, I think it was off the top of my head. But this year I've seen nothing so far, so it can't be doing fantastically well. So this is me. So Lux has the fantastic uh pleasure of being having two placeholders. Like it's on, it's the lowest overnight figure of 1.58. And it's the lowest consolidated ever as well. So it's twice on the list, at number one, the lowest of all time. So if we're going overnight figures from 1963 onwards to present, Lux is right at the bottom, and then we've got the Well, then Robot Revolution, Legend of Ruby Sunday, Boom, Rogue, Dot and Bubble, Legend of the Sea Devils, Empire of Death, Devil's Cord, Space Babies, 73 Yards, The Eaters of Shite, The Lie of the Land, and then at number 15, Battlefield Part 1 with 3.10 on in 1989. So it's no longer in the bottom 10 overnights.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then obviously we'll look at the consolidated. So consolidated figures, Lux is at the bottom of the consolidated ratings from 2005 onwards. If we're just looking at consolidated ratings from the first 7 days from 2005 onwards, because obviously people say viewing habits have changed, so we need to look at the consolidated more. So Lux still at the bottom, lowest ever. Then it was last year Dot and Bubble 3.38. So you can see it's dropped 38,000 at the bottom there. And then obviously Legends of the Sea Devils, which was 3.47, which was the lowest back a wee while back, but there we go, been beaten. Number 4, Legend of the Ruby Sunday. Then it's Rogue, the Robot Revolution, the lowest, opener. boom, The Empire of Meh, Devil's Code, Space Baby, 73 Yards. At number 12, we've got Eve of the Daleks, which is Jodie Whittaker. I think there's only a few Jodie Whittakers, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, right. We've got Legends of Ruby, The Legend of the Sea Devils, which is Jodie Whittaker at number 3. And then the rest of hers are up the way. Eve of the Daleks, Village of the Angels, The Vanquishers, and The Timeless Children at number 15, which were 4.69, which, back in the day, you used to think, 4 million was quite low, but, even you seen Legend of the Sea Devils, which was 3.47, you thought, fuck me, that was bad, but
Yeah.
it's, it's going to be increasingly likely to see how far we're going to go with this, how much
But
further down can we lose viewers?
the sad fact is that Russell T Davis will be a cautionary tale
Hmm.
now. Like literally, like for the rest of the time now, he's kind of made himself into a joke and a punch, like basically the punchline, and yeah, he'd be a cautionary tale, like with other showrunners and writers and things like that. You know what I mean? So it's just so I don't like saying this, but I think you were right when it was announced that he was coming back, that it wasn't a good thing. So there, I said it. You can edit this part out, you dickhead.
No, I'm saving that for eternity.
So it's the only time you'll ever hear me say that.
Yeah, no
And
one listens to me
you
ever.
know, you things I've gotten that bad that I actually say that as well. I don't like it, but you know.
Yep. Right. Let's come to that time again that we've got to predict the overnight ratings for episode 4, Lucky Day, which will be coming out on Saturday. Now, so last time we predicted it, you said it was like 1.4, and I said 1.44 last time. Obviously it went up 1.86. Now, do you think it's going to continue to go up? Obviously, because some people think that obviously the news of it, Lux saying it was pretty good, and then obviously people have been saying this episode, The Well, has done really well, is really good as well. So,
Mm.
do you think word of mouth might get more people to come back, or do you think it's just going to continue to go down?
I think so, and I've seen quite a lot of videos on Instagram and TikTok where people have been doing their reactions to um, the scene where the doctor's asking what planet he's on, sort of thing, and
Hmm.
obviously the reaction videos of people going, "Oh," sort of thing. Even though I'm pretty sure it reveals that in the trailer anyway, did it?
It doesn't reveal it in the trailer, but there was a lot of rumors that obviously
Yeah,
I said last time that obviously it's meant to be the sequel to the Midnight. So
yeah.
um
Wasn't that
yeah,
much like, yeah.
that's why I said it last time. It's
Yeah.
apparently meant to be this. And that's what I
Mm.
said to Mel before we sat down and watched it. I said, it's meant to be the sequel to this episode. And she was like, maybe we should just watch that episode. And I was like, that's actually not a bad idea. So we sat down and watched the Midnight the night before. And then we watch an episode, and almost like it gets revealed, and we just went, "Hey, we're all right."
Yeah, so there was quite a lot of those that I've
Yeah.
came across. Like I wasn't even looking for them; they just came up on the feed,
Mm.
and there's quite a lot of them. So yeah, I think that would probably, like, especially if people like, because a lot of people these days are on like TikTok and Instagram and all the rest, aren't they? And they just scroll
Mm.
through, don't they?
Yeah.
So I reckon quite a few people has probably seen that, got intrigued, and that as well. So yeah, um, unless you're a stubborn bastard.
Mm.
Um, so what was it? 1.86 million. Is that right?
The overnights for episode 3, 1.86 mil. Yeah.
Hmm. Okay, I'll go for 1.9.
You go 1.9. Now, Now I was thinking it could be between 1.9 and about 2 million ish. So it's somewhere in that grey area, I was thinking. Now, shall I go for 2 mil just to be safe? Yeah, fuck it. We'll go 2 mil just to be safe.
Well,
Bang on the nose.
well, I was gonna say like maybe go in the middle, like 1.95 or something.
Uh, uh, I've been wrong apart from the first episode. So,
I'll just stick with
fuck
yeah,
it. I'll
you just
stick with
stick with
two.
this.
Right. Ah, right. Okay. Anyway,